Ready. Play.
I want one more thing from you, Francisca. Can you look at the camera, and I want you to say, I am Francisco Jorge, and I am a friend of the show. Can you try it?
I am Francisca Jorge, and I'm a friend. Wait.
Go. It's okay.
I'm Francisca Jorge, and I'm a fan of the show.
One more time. Can you say, I'm a friend of the show?
Friend.
Like amigo.
Friend.
A friend. So, because we joke, we have players come on all the time. They have no idea, but after they've been on, we say, oh, Yelena Ostapenko is a friend of the show. She has no idea. But so if we get you to say, I am Francisca Jorge, or how you say your name, and
I am Francisca Jorge, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect. Thanks, man. Just want you to do me one more thing. I want you to hold the microphone. I want you to look in the... Don't be nervous. I mean, listen, you've just beaten Yelena Ostapenko.
I'm not nervous.
No, you shouldn't be. If you can beat Ostapenko twice in one day, you can do this for sure. I want you to look at the camera and just say, hi, my name is, say your name, and then say, and I'm a friend of the show.
Friend of the show?
Yeah?
Okay. Hi, my name is Susan, and I'm a friend of the show.
Say your whole name for me. That's the only thing I want.
Sorry.
Surname too. No, you're doing great.
You're
doing
cutting,
great.
huh?
Yeah, I'll cut it up. Don't worry. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Cool. Thank you very much, Susan.
You're welcome.
Good luck for the rest of the tournament. And I will tag you on Instagram, and you can reject. I do have one more tiny thing, which is I want you to look into the camera.
Yeah.
I want you to say your name.
Yes.
And I want you to say, I am a friend of the show.
I'm a friend of the show. Okay.
Perfect, yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
John, I won't want to go cool down, but we can do a couple.
Yeah, right now?
Okay. Sure.
Okay, great.
You got it all inside of you.
Yeah, should work fine. Can I have 10 seconds or 20 seconds?
Okay.
I didn't know, sorry.
All right.
That's fine. He just wants to. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fine. You can just come the time and I'm ready.
Feel it to be true. And when you dance,
Yeah, sure.
Is it okay to stand here, or you'd rather sit down there?
Where do you want me?
Standing here?
Here?
Is okay?
Okay, yeah.
I don't want to, make you stand up for too long. Okay, let me just check the camera's on. Yes, it is. What a return! Leila Fernandez. Take a bounce. Match point, ladies and gentlemen. Championship Billie Jean King Cup point. Get her in somehow. What attacking? What defense? Wow! Wow! Look at this! Boy,
I was probably a little bit bamboozled with with everything. Sorry.
And Billie Jean King Cup 2023, that's a wrap.
Ready? Play.
Maybe. Oh dear, my laptop is being so slow today. Hello everyone, sorry about the delay there. It is so good to be back on Talking Tennis after a couple of days away, particularly to watch this very exciting clash between Robin Montgomery and Aryna Sabalenka. Very exciting because I think that something, oh my goodness, my laptop, what is going on? I think that there could be something to be done here with Robin Montgomery, having watched her play Katie Bolter. I do think there was something that, obviously I don't think Bolter was at her best that day, but I do think there was something in Montgomery's sort of match play there that was quite exciting. So am I predicting a shock? Am I going that far? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going as far as a shock. I think we could see a very close match. I do think Sabalenka's probably got the experience to come through this one, but I do think we could see a very close match, maybe closer than their rankings would suggest that this one should be. If Montgomery can bring the same sort of level that she brought to her match against Katie Bolter, which, like I say, I was really impressed by her. Obviously, I was disappointed by Katie Bolter's level in a certain way, because I normally quite enjoy her tennis, attacking tennis. I didn't think she was on her game, but yeah, pleased to see Montgomery come through that one in the end, because it felt like she really deserved to. So nice for her to get this match against Sabalenka on the main court. 19 years old, of course. I also thought Saba was off versus Lynette. Damien thought her level was good. Oh, well, Damien does know better than me. But I thought she was off against Lynette. I don't think... I struggled to see how that match would be so close unless Sabalenka's a little bit off, if that makes sense. So she's got to be off for her to struggle so much against Lynette. Obviously, Lynette played well, but I don't know. I didn't think Sabalenka looked like the Sabalenka we are used to. Certainly not Australian Open Sabalenka. But a little bit of a scare already here at 30 all. Obviously not much of a scare, but sort of an early chance for Montgomery here at 30 all. Good serve from Sabalenka down the tee, which Montgomery puts in the net. So game point for Aryna instead. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think, we've obviously all been talking a little bit about who we think is going to win Madrid, who's going to, on both sides, men and women. And on the women's side, I've seen mostly people talking about Aryna and Iga, and rightly so, in a certain way, because they are obviously probably the most likely candidates to win. But I wouldn't count Sabalenka out myself. I think she has obviously won this title twice before. It works for her here in Madrid, and she's going to find the level we know she can produce at some point. It's just when she finds it again. So I wouldn't be surprised if she goes a long way here. John, you played a best of 5 match today. That is... Did it go to 5? How did you do? Was it long? That feels like a really long time. It went 4. That feels like such a long time to me to be playing tennis. Good for you, though. A break point here. Sorry, I got confused. I got distracted by your match. John, break point for Montgomery here. She just dragged that backhand wide, I think. Montgomery, yeah. Back to deuce. But an early break point there for the 19-year-old. Positive signs for her to have a bit of a go at Sabalenka in this match as a whole. Also very exciting to see the subscriber count on the screen above 8,000. I think that's a very exciting milestone. So yeah, please do, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Let's get to 9,000 as soon as possible. Okay, back to deuce here. Sabalenka hitting her backhand to Montgomery's forehand, switching her to the backhand. Montgomery's got some good ground strokes though, hitting pretty well against Sabalenka, and her backhand goes in the net, so it's a second break point here for Robin Montgomery. So far, not overawed by Sabalenka's power by any means. Sabalenka serves out wide. Nice deep return from Montgomery. But then her backhand down the line just drifts long. So another break point that has come and gone for Montgomery, back on deuce. She'll be pleased to make this first service game such an issue for Sabalenka, though. Put it in her mind early that she's here to play. She's not going to go down easy here. Good, strong return from Montgomery. Don't think she's expecting Sabalenka to then whack a forehand across court past her. Great +1 from Sabalenka there to give herself a game point. First serve just long from Sabalenka. Second serve now. goes out wide. Montgomery goes for the massive forehand down the line return, but just goes long. Right idea though. So, but it took her 8 minutes, and Robin Montgomery definitely showing that she is in this match very much. Hopefully it'll be an exciting one. Got Danielle Collins on the screen. I was very, very glad that Danielle Collins just about managed to finish her match off against Christian before this one started, because I would otherwise have had to have 2 screens on the go at once, I think, to watch Danielle close it out. I was quite avidly watching that third set. So nice of her to close it out. She, of course, plays the winner of this. And whilst it would be incredible for Robin Montgomery to get a win over Sabalenka, it'd be quite the upset. I must say I am also quite keen for a Danielle Collins Aryna Sabalenka matchup in Madrid. So I'm a bit torn between those two. Great inside-out backhand from Sabalenka, comes towards the net to finish it with a forehand cross-court. Montgomery does manage to get it back. Nice defense from her. Keeps the rally going. They're still going now. Sabalenka tries to finish it with a backhand down the line. I think that one's got long. Yeah, they're just showing the mark. It does look long, but she might challenge that one. She doesn't look happy. Yes, Danielle was so kind. She obviously knew had to rush off to this stream, so she hurried that one along, got the double break. She's very helpful. That Sabalenka backhand was long, so it's 15 love. But a good cross-court return there that Montgomery can't get back. Makes it 15 all. Yeah, I thought Christian played some really great stuff in that game against Collins, but just not great enough really at the moment. And who is to beat Danielle Collins right now? I think it was a tweet from Nick, but I'm not positive, so I'm sorry if I'm misquoting you, Nick. But I think it was a tweet from Nick that said at first Danielle Collins, in this like long streak that she's on, she was just winning, and now it's like she's refusing to lose. I think that's exactly how it felt watching her today. Going down that first set, you can see her just being like, no, there's no way I'm losing this. So it might be more of a struggle for her now that she's on the European clay than it was when she was in the US, but she's still looking pretty strong. I can see we've got a majority Sabalenka poll here. 86% of us think Sabalenka's going to win. I'd probably have to join you. Montgomery doing well on her own service game here, though, 40-15. And it is, of course, their first meeting, which, in fairness... Did she make that? No. Just wide. That forehand from Montgomery makes it 40-30, sorry. Montgomery serves into the body. Sabalenka struggles a little bit with that backhand return. They get into a rally, but Montgomery quickly puts her backhand well long. Didn't get the right contact on that one. And what was looking like a straightforward game for Robin Montgomery is now 40 all, juice. Serve down the tee, they're quickly into a rally where Sabalenka clearly trying to play on the Montgomery backhand, but she does well with it. Gets the point, advantage Montgomery. Just give you a quick update on elsewhere. Tommy Paul is currently on Arantxa Sanchez against Cerundolo. Took the first set 7-6, 9-7 in the tiebreak. And they're currently on serve 2-all in the second. last time I looked at that, Tommy Paul was up in that tiebreak as Cerundolo was just slowly creeping back to make it 5-5. So nice to see Tommy Paul get that one. I think he was looking so strong before that ankle injury. I'd love to see him return to that kind of form. Double fault there from Montgomery. At advantage takes us back to deuce. Serving now. She's not really, I wouldn't say, using too much placement on that serve. I feel like the Sabalenka return is causing her a little bit of an issue at the moment. Sort of feels like Sabalenka's return is instantly giving her the upper hand in most of these rallies. And it did in that one as well. And she has a break point because of it. Into a forehand exchange. Sabalenka with a strong forehand to the backhand side. Montgomery deals with it well, and Sabalenka's inside-out forehand is a little bit wild. And she almost laughs at that one herself as they go back to deuce. Nice serve from Montgomery there. Probably her best of the match, which obviously it hasn't been going on very long. But her serve hasn't necessarily been a strong point so far, so that one was good. Unreturned gives her advantage. Montgomery just serving now. Nice length on that second serve. But a backhand into the net, and we're back to deuce. This has been a long 2 games already. Another good return from Sabalenka. But Montgomery just guides a forehand down the line. That one's a winner. Gives her advantage. Same thing you say probably about most young players in the world. But the thing you sort of see from Montgomery in both her Katie Bolter win and already in this is just that she's got a lot of skill, and it's just about that consistency, which is always the way, right? That's always the sort of marker between the top players and those who aren't. She goes for a drop shot there, but doesn't get that one right. Goes into the net. Great time for my stream to completely disappear. Try loading it again. You can see it's advantage Montgomery on the scoreboard on the stream. Although on my screen it is deuce number 5 as my stream gets back up and running. Oh, a really difficult one for Montgomery to take there. As Sabalenka sort of drops it short, and Montgomery is just on her feet. She doesn't know what to do with it. Yeah, almost 20 minutes, 17 minutes on my screen, and it's still 1-love. So this one could be a bit of a marathon, perhaps. Got a picture of Sabalenka at the start of the match on the screen there. I am a fan of the yellow and pink, I must say. Not that I'm a tennis fashion expert, but yellow and pink, definitely. Great return there from Sabalenka. Forehand, cross court, great angle, gets her the early break. And this could have been very different. Montgomery, of course, had break points in that first game and was 40-15 up in her own service game. Doesn't manage to take either of those chances and finds herself 2-love against the second seed. Always the way, though. Getting break points, not taking them, immediately getting broken. I feel like I say it every single stream, but it doesn't make it any less true. It is what happens. See if Sabalenka can consolidate here. If she gets 3-love, then you feel like Montgomery's might struggle to sort of pick herself up from that in this set. Of course, mustn't forget that Katie Bolter won the first set against Montgomery 6-1, I believe. And then Montgomery came back to win, so certainly not out of the realm of possibility. We've lost the scoreboard just for a second. I will, of course, get that back for you. Sabalenka 30-love up while that was away. So making slightly quicker work, perhaps, of this service game. Double fault there, though. Makes it 30-15. Looking quite annoyed with that double fault, even though she's a break-up and doing quite well. Oof. And I don't know why I said this was going to be easier for Sabalenka, because she's just done a very wild backhand to make it 30-all. So perhaps not easier. And here's the 4-set epic that John was talking about. Over 3 hours. My goodness. Leading through at 6-3, went into push mode and was duly punished. Oh dear. Very good. Nice one, John. Ashley, hi, so good to see you. Hope you're having a good day as well. Are you rooting for Sabalenka here or the big upset of Montgomery? As we just have a Hawkeye call here that has been called very marginally in. And that is in favour of Sabalenka. Makes it 40-30. Massive serve to back that one up from Sabalenka. Gets her the game, gets her the 3-love. All the momentum with her. She still doesn't really look like she's playing her best to me quite yet. But that could, of course, change. It's quite good for Sabalenka, I think, from her perspective at least, to have these early rounds against people like, Robin Montgomery, and her first round, obviously, against Lynette, even though that was tougher. That was partly maybe because Sabalenka wasn't at her level. So to have these sort of slightly tough but not big name first rounds is probably a good thing. Ashley saying she watched a little bit of Rafa, not the whole match. Was happy he was able to win at home. Yes, I was very, very happy with Rafa yesterday. I did watch the whole match whilst tinkering and trying to do other things, but it wasn't succeeding. I was quite quite distracted by it. I thought it was a brilliant match. But I also have to recognise that I was very biased yesterday. So I'm just going to put it out there. I was very biased. I thought he played really well. And he was totally right at the end when they asked him about, it was classic Rafa today. And he was like, no, not at all. And he's right. It's obviously not classic Rafa, but I don't think that matters very much. He got the job done. Dominor obviously not necessarily playing as well as he did in Barcelona, but again, Rafa got the job done. I was very pleased. There's been a few upsets today. You can see on our screen Bilek. I believe that's how you say it, but I'm very much could be wrong. Getting a win over Kruger as a qualifier. I think, she's only 18. She's been looking really good this week. I'm excited to see her in the next round. I actually haven't managed to catch any of her matches yet this week, so she's very much on my agenda when she plays the next round to have a look at how she plays. They are back after the changeover here, just in quite a lengthy rally. It feels like Montgomery is really, I know she's 3-love down, but she's hitting well against Sabalenka, better than many others can say that they're able to. Gets the point there. For 15-love. And they've just zoomed in on Francis Tiafoe in the crowd at this one. I assume supporting fellow American Montgomery. Don't think he's in her box. I couldn't tell. I think he was just in the crowd, but he might have been in her box. Good straight sets win for Fritz as well. Yeah, I didn't manage to catch any of that one either, actually, but I was keeping an eye on it. It feels like he's getting somewhere at the moment. I don't know quite where, but it feels like he's getting somewhere. I think he looks slightly less vulnerable, maybe, when I've watched him the last few times than he has done for quite a while. He was playing Baez, by the way, Ashley. Fritzy Witsy, love that. He's playing Baez, who obviously is quite good on clay, so a nice straight sets win for Fritz, that one, 6-2, 6-3. I think he just looks slightly less vulnerable. I always think Fritz is one of those that if you get him early on in a draw, a lot of players would feel that they could take him on despite his seeding, whereas I feel like he's looking a little bit less vulnerable now. Obviously lost in that final in Munich to Struff. But Struff is playing so well at the moment that I don't think Fritz should beat himself up about that one too much. 15 all here on Montgomery's serve. And that was a nice one. Sabalenka put that serve into the net. The other one I was quite impressed with today that I did watch was Rublev against Davidovich Fokina. I watched all of that one, and I thought Rublev, despite obviously he's had such a difficult run recently, I thought he looked quite good today. Because Davidovich Fokina put up a good fight, and I thought Rublev coped with that quite well. He was 5-love down in that first set tiebreak and won it 12-10. So it was a good fight, and he showed a decent mentality to come through that. Okay, 40-15 here for Montgomery, which she obviously had last time. Can she take the game point this time? Serves sort of down the tee. Not great placement, but she's got Sabalenka scrambling here. Goes for the inside out forehand. Sabalenka nowhere near it. That's a winner. Big roar from Montgomery there as she gets her first game on the board. makes it 3-1. Jake, so good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Great to have you, as always. Yeah, I was happy Andre won that one as well, Ashley. I think, it's been really difficult to see him struggling on the court recently. Clearly, I think, struggling quite a lot with the mental aspect of the game. And it's been sort of difficult to watch. So, quite pleased to see him in better spirits, particularly in his post-match interview. And the tiebreaker was incredibly intense. I totally agree. Of course, it would be a Rublev match if he didn't have a few arguments with the umpire, but he was relatively calm during those arguments, I would say. Oh, it was a terrible challenge from Davidovich Fokina in that match. Awful. I couldn't believe he did that. That was to allow Andre to break and then serve out the match. And Davidovich Fokina just stopped the point on a ball that was in. It was just so strange from him. Nice drop shot from Sabalenka, speeding through her service game this time. Although I said that last time and then Montgomery came back, but it is 40 love this time. Davidovich is the king of finding ways to lose. Yeah, it does feel like that at the moment, doesn't it? And for a while. I don't think I've watched a Davidovich Fokina match in the last year where the commentator hasn't brought up his underarm serve against Holger Rune in Wimbledon. I think they bring it up every single match I've watched him play. So he can't get away from that. And he continues to make similarly bad decisions ever since for me. So yeah, not a good one today. But I was pleased to see Andre get that win. Not sure the Spanish crowd were super pleased there. That Tommy Paul match, by the way, is 4-4 now. Still on serve. And Sabalenka has taken that service game. So it is 4-1, her lead now. Didn't he beat Hurkacz in a crazy match in 2022 at Wimbledon? Oh, Davidovich Fokina. Yes, no, I remember that. Wasn't that one like 9-7 or 10-8 or something in the fifth set tiebreak? I'll double check that. Here it is. Yeah, 10-8 in the fifth set tiebreak, that one. That one was, crazy. I remember watching that and I was definitely cheering on Hubie. So that one was quite painful. But it was pretty good from Davidovich Fokina. And he had a great clay season, didn't he? Was that 2022 as well? I really lose track of the years. I'm not very good at them. But I remember Davidovich Fokina having a great clay season at some point. Jake putting the Sabalenka match on. Let's go. I assume that means you might be cheering for Sabalenka, perhaps, Jake? Just the way you've worded that. Who does Rafa play next? Rafa plays Kachin, I believe. And I don't think they've ever played each other before. So a nice fresh slate for the both of them. Definitely, as John said, winnable, let's say. That one. Feels winnable, although they put up his sort of whole run to the quarterfinal and it all feels possibly winnable by Rafa, but you never know, do you? Love 15 here on Montgomery's service game. It does feel a little bit inevitable, this set for Sabalenka now. Even more so as she does an incredible angle again on a backhand return. Montgomery nowhere near that one. Brilliant from Sabalenka. She could get a strong win here. I think it could do a lot for her confidence. She's obviously talked recently about feeling like she's not been living up to the big three with Iga and Aryna. And obviously she was sort of joking around, but I think she did feel that. So it'd be nice to her to feel that confidence again, that she is, you know, up there with the best of them. Didn't ADF beat Nole on clay somewhere? Oh, you could be right. Yes, I feel like that happened. Because I feel like I remember watching that match. Monte Carlo, 2022. That will be the clay season I'm talking about then, where he did well, yeah. 3 sets, 6-1 in the third. Monte Carlo. Nice one. And it is 3 break points here from Sabalenka. Love 40 on Montgomery's serve. Feels like she's sort of come apart a little bit here. Although Sabalenka is just hitting the return so well that there's very little Robin Montgomery's going to feel she's able to do here. It was a let serve, so she goes again. Down the middle, big down the line forehand return from Sabalenka that Montgomery can't do anything with. And she does get the double break, makes it 5-1 to Sabalenka here. Jake saying, Sabalenka is your favourite player of the top floor players. Makes sense. Lovely. Azarenka, the ultimate GOAT. Of course, I know your love for Azarenka. I will not question that one. Rafa's natural ability on clay is so astounding. He's almost 37 and moves so well on dirt. Yeah, totally agree. Ashley, it's a real privilege to watch, however old he gets. We don't know how many more times we're going to be able to watch it, so making the most of it. Yeah, I thought the de Minaur match was a real sort of privilege for Rafa fans. Nice rally, but Sabalenka finishes with a forehand down the line that Montgomery can't do anything about. And she is serving for the first set here. Three set points, Cerundolo, love 40. Tommy Paul on his service game, 4-5. Make that 15-40, must have saved one of them. That first set was so close, it would make sense for that one to go to a third. Oh, she just overcooked that backhand. Montgomery makes it 30 love. It feels like every single point Montgomery's just almost there. She's almost got it. She very much hasn't, but she's, you know, she's getting into rallies with Sabalenka on her own serve. Sabalenka's return's just too great for her, really. But on Sabalenka's serve, she is sort of getting into rallies and putting up a few good defensive performances. It's nowhere near enough at the moment, though. Sabalenka with 3 set points here to take the first set, 6-1. Oh, I just noticed Sean in the chat as well. Hi, Sean. Thanks for joining us. Cerundolo does take the second set against Tommy Paul, takes that one to a third. Felt like it deserved a third set, that one. Wayward ball toss there for Sabalenka on set point. She resets herself. Goes for the backhand down the line on the +1, but Montgomery gets it back, and Sabalenka scrambling for it. Puts it in the net, so Montgomery saves the first set point, but there's still 2 more. Both clicking things at the same time. Sorry, John. Set point number 2 here. Montgomery saves that one as well, this time cracking a forehand down the line and painting the line with that one. Great stuff from Montgomery. Like I say, she does have it in her, just a little bit inconsistent, and most of the set, those ones have been going long. Jake's saying her weakness has been always been her mobility. I mean, you've got someone like Sabalenka crunching everything. Yeah, she is really crunching everything today, probably because she also knows that. The mobility isn't quite there for Montgomery. She has, you know, in places she's been putting up some, like I say, some good defensive points, but it's not been consistent. Third set point here for Sabalenka. She's put a forehand down the line. I think that's out. I'm just zooming in on the mark. It is out. She's saved 3 set points, Montgomery, and has made it deuce. Good fight from the 19-year-old. Sean saying, you've just seen Paolini won. That's great. It is great. It's a great win for her. 6-3, 6-2 as well. Just over an hour against Caroline Garcia. I didn't see that one, so I don't know necessarily how everyone played, whether Garcia was fully fit. I know she's had a few issues recently with shoulder, but maybe Paolini just hit her off the court. I think Paolini's such an exciting player to watch, and a really easy player to root for me as well. So it's nice to see her doing well. I see we've got Nerlin in the chat as well. Nice to see you and the arrows make an appearance. We have got a 4th set point here for Sabalenka after Montgomery saving the first 3. Feels like she's not going to want to let too many of these slip away. Good forehand down the lines for Sabalenka. I think that backhand has just drifted long. It has. So Sabalenka eventually, after a decent little fight back from Montgomery for a moment, does take that first set 6-1 and looking pretty dominant.
There were some Australian Open final vibes for me today, and I was looking at a couple of comparisons. Australia was 2 hours 28 minutes. Today was 2:26. I'm sure you weren't aware of that, but I tell you, 4 championship points. Does that sound familiar? And were you thinking of it during that last game?
Actually, yes, I was thinking when I was down with the break in the last game. I was thinking, okay, I did it at the Australia Open, so probably I'll be able to get this win this time again, and it's actually helped me to stay focused and to have this belief in myself. And yeah, definitely this match reminds a lot of Australia Open match.
The drama. How on earth do I follow that? What a video from John there. As we return to this Montgomery Sabalenka match, they have just started the second set. Montgomery serving first here. Gets the first point, makes it 15-love. Tommy Paul, by the way, just had a break point in the first game of the third set, but Cerundolo has saved it and they are at deuce. I'll keep you updated on that one. Of course, Robin Montgomery might be thinking now about that Katie Boulter match. Like I said earlier, she did lose that first set 6-1 there as well and turn that one around pretty admirably. So there might be a bit of belief in her here that she could do the same against Sabalenka. Hopefully she won't feel sort of beaten yet, because she's not, obviously. But yeah, Sabalenka's level so far has been just a little bit too much for the 19-year-old as she crunches forehand cross court. Great depth there. Montgomery unable to do anything with that one. Makes it 30-15. Anyone who is watching, please let me know. I haven't looked yet at whether the schedule is out for tomorrow. I assume it is. Let me know what's your big picks for tomorrow that you think I should be watching. I am in uni all day, but in terms of what I should have on my phone next to me on the desk at uni, what is everyone watching tomorrow? Jake saying Sabalenka's outfit is nice. Obviously, I wouldn't wear it when it's Sousa. It is. I was saying that earlier, actually, Jake. I love the pink and yellow. I think it's great. Nice combo. Works for Sabalenka as well. She's obviously a big fan of the bright colours, and I think they're brilliant. I'm a big fan of the bright colours as well. Oh, thank you, Sean. You always come through. Menshik Aliassime. Oh, I didn't realise they were playing each other. I feel like I'm not on top of the draw here in Madrid at all. And I'm usually more on top of it. But I feel like I don't know who's coming next for people. That is definitely one to watch. Really exciting. I do think Menshik is looking pretty good. I mean, Dimitrov obviously had a few dips in his level throughout that match, but Menshik really played well and consistent and solid as well, which is not always the case for an 18-year-old. So I was really impressed with him there, and I'd be excited to watch him play Ogi Aliassime, who of course has struggles of his own at the moment. Just seeing a few stats for set one between Montgomery and Sabalenka. The big sort of main they put those stats up so quickly and they take them away just as you're reading them every time. They just don't put them up for long enough. The big one that I saw there was points won on second serve for Montgomery, just struggling to win any points on her second serve there. I think it was about 22%, but it was a bit quick for me to gain much from those stats. Ashley saying Tommy Paul and Cerundolo is a super close match. Yeah, I would, if I had another screen here, I would also have that one on. I'm really interested in how that one turns out. So if you are watching that one, Ashley, do keep me updated in case I miss out. I noticed Tommy Paul on my screen has got another break point here. In that first game of the third set, he's really fighting hard in that one. Jake saying Menshik has so much firepower, utilises the conditions well too. Yeah, great analysis, Jake. I completely agree with the conditions. I think he's using those to his advantage. He has got so much firepower. That serve. It's not only the serve, is it though? Like you say, it's utilising that serve to then get ahead in the point, I think, which is so impressive, especially at his age. Sabalenka, by the way, utilising her serve very well. Is 40-love up in her service game. Women's side looks good tomorrow, though. I'll have to have a quick look at the draw. Or at the schedule, sorry, I've not looked. Oh yeah, it does. Ostapenko Ons Jabeur. I'd be very interested by that one. 10 a.m. first thing. Followed by Iga Swiatek against Sorribes Tormo, who has caused so much trouble for people so far that I don't know. I think she could cause Iga a little bit of trouble tomorrow. I'm not predicting an upset. Don't get me wrong, but I do think she could cause Iga some trouble because she seems to be causing everybody a lot of trouble at the moment. Coco Gauff, Madison Keys, always fun. And Bielek against Rybakina. That's fun. I would definitely watch that one. I do think Rybakina is looking a little bit too strong for pretty much anyone right now, but it'd be interesting to see how Bielek can cope with Rybakina, having seen how well Bielek's played up to this point. Nice hold there from Sabalenka. Montgomery did fight hard, but still just a hold to 15. Makes it 1-1 in this second set. Actually saying Tommy had so many chances to break that first game. Yeah, it seemed like that. It went on for ages. I assume from your tone that he did not break in that first game. So Cerundolo must have taken that first game in the third set. So Ribes Vika has to be favourite. I do think maybe favourite is a bit strong. I understand you saying it, but maybe favourite's a bit strong. I do think she's going to cause Iga some trouble. I really do. I was asked who's going to cause Iga the most trouble a few days ago when I was on with Nick. And I think I said, whoever wins the match between Azarenka and Svitolina. And obviously that match didn't happen. And then Azarenka lost. So in a way, Sorribes Tormo must be the biggest competition for Iga Swiatek right now. She's a pest. Yes, I think if we use pest in the fondest of terms, I do understand what you mean. It's nothing against her, certainly on my side, but she's got to be quite annoying for a lot of players on tour, just on the court, purely. 30 love here from Montgomery. I'm sure it would mean a lot to her to get through a few service games in this second set unscathed. Obviously, something she struggled with in that first set. Oh, is that second serve ace? I often think when I see that I've just lost count of the serving, and that must have been a first serve. But I think that was the second serve ace, out wide, great placement. 40 love, Montgomery. She hit 2 winners against Vika. Only 2, I didn't realise that. But she very rarely beats herself, so consistent. Yeah, absolutely true. And on clay, that is so hard to contend with for pretty much anyone. Especially when I feel like this tournament, she's reached a new level of consistency that is really hard to contend with. One game all in that third set between Tommy Paul and Francisco Cerundolo. And 40-15 here on Montgomery's serve. Sabalenka's return is long. And she gets a second game on the board, already in a better position than she was at any point in that first set. 2-1 up here in the second set against Sabalenka.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Sabalenka just stepping up to start her second service game here, as Jake tries to find the Sabalenka match on Spanish TV. Oof. I wonder how easy that will be. I don't really know, obviously I know how tennis streaming is in America and obviously here in the UK, but I'm not very good at what people use elsewhere. Where do you get your tennis on Spanish TV? I don't like listening to watching tennis with English commentary, only talking tennis. Well, that's just because you've got taste, Jake. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I do think the commentary certainly on Sky Sports, where tennis is for me now, is generally pretty good, actually. I don't mind the tennis commentary. I find football commentary, for example, absolutely unlistenable. But yeah, tennis commentary in the UK at the moment, I find pretty decent. 15-all here on the Sabalenka service game. I still don't feel like Sabalenka's hit her stride in this match. She has been crunching some really great winners, but it's been amongst sort of a little bit of inconsistency. So I think she's still yet to find her best level as she dumps that backhand into the net on a pretty regular rally. Makes it 15-30. Jake cheering on Sabalenka here, and it has worked. She has listened to you, Jake. Great unreturned serve there to get her back to 30-all. Take away Montgomery's hopes. Or start to take away Montgomery's hopes of a break here. Serves out wide. She's celebrating that one, so she thinks it's in. I'm not sure whether Montgomery's challenged it. It looked really close, but no, she's not challenged. It was an ace. So game point here for Sabalenka. Into a rally. Montgomery sends her backhand out wide. Sabalenka's forehand, again, just into the net, sort of inexplicably. Not a difficult one for her there, but it is deuce. Few sort of poor ground strokes here from Sabalenka has given Montgomery a bit of a chance. Of course, Sabalenka immediately responds with a great ace down to 189 kilometers an hour, that one. Great stuff from Sabalenka. Game point to make this 2-all in the second set. That first serve was long. She's getting a little bit frustrated with her serve, I think. more so than usually. I think just getting something out of her eye there before she served. Montgomery, big forehand return. Puts Sabalenka on the back foot a little bit in this rally, but she has got back into it. Big forehand cross court from Montgomery. Sabalenka gets it back, switches to the Sabalenka forehand. They're still going here. Montgomery, big forehand down the line. Sabalenka, big forehand back. Montgomery goes to the backhand down the line, and that is just wide. And so close from Montgomery there to taking it back to deuce. But instead, Sabalenka has taken that game and made it 2-all here in the second set. But more importantly, we've got an ice cream flavour to guess. From John. Not mint chocolate, apparently. I love mint chocolate ice cream. It's great. I'm going to go classic cookie dough. As Montgomery steps up to serve here. Sabalenka just challenging that Montgomery forehand, but it was well in, almost wholly on the line, even though she circled and marked, and she's looking for it now. She did circle and mark. She must have maybe picked the wrong one there, but it is 15 love to Montgomery. She is definitely competing much better this set so far. Which perhaps after that Katie Bowles performance you might expect. I don't think she was ever going to go away too easily. Change from cookie dough last minute. You must have found something very good to change from cookie dough. I can't think of anything that would make me change. Oh, that Sabalenka backhand just wide. Makes it 30 love. And Tiafoe's still watching this one. And it does look like actually he is in Montgomery's box. I couldn't tell earlier, but he is with her coaching staff, I think. Supporting her here. Nice to see him supporting her. Oof. Montgomery set up that point so nicely with a serve out wide. She had an open court to go for that backhand down the line, but she dumped it in the net instead. And it's 30-15. Just going to check on that Tommy Paul Cerundolo match. They are 2-all in the third set. I assume on serve without any breaks, but I don't know that for sure. I do know that for sure. I've just checked. No breaks. 2-all in that third set. Nice serve from Montgomery. Unreturned. Makes it 40-15. And it's got to give her a bit of confidence the way she's getting through her service games in the second set. It's completely different to the dominance that Sabalenka was showing in the first. Nice to see her putting up a little bit of a fight, serving a little bit better here. into a rally now, even though the return from Sabalenka looked very close to being long, but it must not have been. And Montgomery goes for a backhand that she tries to put a lot of spin on, but it gets it wrong, and it goes well long. Makes it 40-30. Yeah, I agree, Jake. It was a clever serve. Sorry. I also think, in general, her serve has been more clever in this second set. I felt like the placement wasn't there in the first set at all, and it was just allowing Sabalenka to just crunch those winners on the return. But a great serve gets Robin Montgomery that game and makes it 3-2. Yeah, absolutely. It was such fine margins in those first two games of the first set, both of which Montgomery had chances to take, didn't take them. And that was really what lost to that whole first set, was just those couple of games at the start that Sabalenka managed to pull through. So, yeah, interesting to see how the rest of this set will pan out if Montgomery is able to hold her serve a lot quicker, a lot easier. Looks like most games in that Tommy Paul match are going pretty long at the moment. Seeing a lot of juices overall. I believe there's obviously there's a Tommy Paul match on right now on Aryna Sanchez. There's this match on Manolo Santana. I believe there's only one more match after this at all between Denis Shapovalov and Zverev, getting underway as soon as this Sabalenka match finishes. And you can join, as I believe they said earlier, Dream Team, Vanch and Damien for that match here on Talking Tennis. $15 love here on the Sabalenka serve. In terms of the Madrid tournament, no, I haven't managed to go. I have been to very, very few tennis tournaments in general. You could ask me the same question about most tennis tournaments. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to go to many. But I'd love to go to Madrid. Seems like a lovely tournament. Although I'm not a big fan of the way this is such a petty little gripe, but I'm not a big fan of the way that the seating's laid out. I think it's just because for me it seems like such a waste of so much space. It really bothers me. But that's a very petty thing to say about a tournament. I'd certainly still love to go. Great overhead there from Sabalenka. Sets up game point, 40 love. You were there in 2017, Jake. Watch Songa. Very nice. That must have been exciting. Sean here asking the important questions. Will Nadal's retirement be as sad as the end of one day? I love that question. I haven't watched... Right, so this depends which one day you're talking about, right? Because there's a book, there's a film, and there's a TV show. And I've seen the film with Anne Hathaway in it, but that's it. I haven't watched the recent TV show. I assume it's got the same ending, and it's still just as sad. I assume they're all as sad as each other. I'm going to go with, I think I'll probably be more sad about Nadal, but maybe that's a personal thing. Maybe most people would find one day a lot more sad. Let me know, Sean, what do you think? Which is winning in the sad department there? Great rally there from Montgomery, forcing Sabalenka to just put too much on that backhand. Jake asking, what is one day? Like I say, book, film, TV show, all on the same story. I assume it started as a book, and it's like a sort of romance drama thing, I think is how you'd categorize it. I don't know. But it's got quite a sad ending. Just losing her balance there. It looked like Montgomery on that backhand makes it 15-all. You feel like the way they're getting through their service games at the moment, any break could mean the set for whoever manages to break. So they're going to be quite protective of their own serve here. Big forehand from Sabalenka there, cross court, gets a good angle, so it's past Montgomery. And that's more of what she was doing in the first set that she's been unable to do so far in the second. She's got a bit of a chance here, 15-30. And to keep you updated on Arantxa Sanchez, Cerundolo has broken Tommy Paul. And it's 4-2 in the third to Cerundolo there. Sorry, I'm laughing because that return from Sabalenka was so it was such a shank really from her. I don't think she meant that at all. She just couldn't get out of the way of it, shanked it here, and it was basically the result was a great drop shot, which Montgomery sort of puts her hands in the air. Sabalenka apologizes, but it means she's got 2 break points here on the Montgomery serve. Doesn't take the first one, puts a backhand into the net. 30-40. Another break point here, though, for Sabalenka. Nice serve down the tee from Montgomery, followed up with a brilliant forehand down the line that Sabalenka's nowhere near. Saves those 2 break points. Montgomery makes it deuce. Big roar from her towards her team. Nice to see. Yeah, she was quite lucky with that return, and she knew it. They had a bit of a nice moment, a bit of a smile, the two of them after that one. So nice to see them both sort of having a laugh about that one. Into a rally now. Sabalenka with a great angle on that forehand, but Montgomery is getting them back quite well. Puts a lot on that backhand across court, and she's coming to the net here. Great hands. Big fist pump, big roar from Montgomery there as she gets the advantage. Really successful coming into the net from her there. Nerdan asking, is there going to be a stream for Zverev against Shapovalov later? Yes, there is. The wonderful Damien and the equally wonderful Vanch will be doing the Zverev-Shapovalov match directly after this Sabalenka match. So you are covered in terms of talking tennis for the rest of the matches today. Nice serve from Montgomery there. Another massive raw as she manages to save from 15-40. Big hold for Robin Montgomery. And very important, I feel like. If Sabalenka had broken there, she's looking too impressive on her own service game for Montgomery to have much of a chance at breaking back. So huge hold for her to make this sort of second set as competitive as possible after a not very competitive first set. Yeah, it was a great volley. Agree, Jake. Keeping you updated, Tommy Paul and Cerundolo. I believe last time I told you, Cerundolo was 4-2. He is still 4-2 and fighting to hold serve here to make it 5-2. And just as I say that, the score has changed on my screen. He has held serve to make it 5-2. And Cerundolo is a game away from the round of 16. Once again, because I can't keep track of anyone's draw this week, I don't know who they're fighting to play. Oh, okay. So winner of Tommy Paul Cerundolo plays the winner of Shapovalov against Zverev. Nice. And Rublev plays Griekspoor. That's fun. Obviously, great win for Griekspoor today against 11th seed Holger Rune. Although, of course, at the same time, Holger has been looking pretty ropey for a little while now. Sort of certain matches where he's playing and you feel like he looks back to his sort of best, and then suddenly it just sort of goes away from him, I feel like. So, tricky one for him to take, but a nice win for Griekspoor. Sabalenka 15-love up here. Serves out wide. Did that catch the line? No, it didn't. Second serve. Goes for practically the exact same serve again, and then a +1 backhand down the line. Lovely on a second serve from Sabalenka there to make it 30-love. Both players having to run to get these balls. Don't know how they're managing it. Sabalenka wins the day in the end with a backhand that Montgomery just cannot stretch for. She did try very hard as the camera zooms in on. I was about to call him Flopez because that's what I always call him. Sorry, Feliciano Lopez in the crowd, tournament director, of course. They'll always be Flopez to me. Some great running from Montgomery there and from Sabalenka, but it is 3 game points for the world number 2 here. Although live, she isn't the world number 2, is she? Coco is, that's true. Second seed, we'll say. Nice hold from Sabalenka there. Hold to love. Montgomery's putting quite a lot on her returns, I would think, at the moment, but I feel like the pace is sort of just helping Sabalenka because she can just use it and return it back to Montgomery full force. So it feels like it's sort of just playing into Sabalenka's hands a little bit on that Sabalenka serve at the moment. Cerundolo making good use of the drop shot versus Tommy. Yeah, I can see Tommy serving 2-5 down, 15-30 right now. So Cerundolo with a bit of a half chance to get it done. 6-2, perhaps. Montgomery serving here at 4-all. Great return from Sabalenka. Backhand down the line that Montgomery doesn't manage to return. So that's love 15 pretty quickly. I can see on my screen Cerundolo's got 2 match points here against Tommy Paul. $15.40 on Tommy Paul's serve, so 2 chances for Cerundolo to get that one done. Montgomery there with a great 1-2 punch. Forehand down the line for a winner. She's playing so much better than she did in that first set. Feels very like that Bolter match where she just struggled to get going, but almost used going down in the first set to motivate her going forward. Cerundolo has managed to get that one done on Arantxa Sanchez. Didn't need to serve it out. He managed to break Tommy Paul for it, so 6-2 in that third set. Nice win for Cerundolo after losing the first set. And as I say, he plays the winner of Zverev Shapovalov later tonight. Sabalenka shot must have just been long. So it is 30-15. Another nice serve from Montgomery to make it 40-15. Body serve, such a smart play against Sabalenka. Yeah, I agree. When she's sort of been getting those serves right in that forehand zone or even that backhand zone today, she's just been putting them away. So body serve is sort of what's working well, although if she does more of those very lucky shanks that she did earlier, then body serve might not work so well as it did. Another great serve from Montgomery. That is one thing she's changed. First set to second set is that serve has become much better. Better placement, better sort of use of it. So that's 5-4 to Montgomery here. She's holding serve well in this second set. Big question from Nerlin, whether I believe every person who is a fan of Świątek today is only a fan because of that 37 win streak. Great question. I would argue no, but that's only probably because of my personal experience, because that's not why I'm a fan of Iga Świątek. I think her winning the French Open, as John said actually, in 2020 is probably what endeared me to her first. And obviously then for me it grew from there. But I'm sure a lot of people became fans of her during that 37 win streak, just because it was so impressive. But it depends why they're fans of her, of course, whether they're fans of her because of her insanely dominant tennis, or because because of her as a person, or many other reasons. So maybe it's just bagel based. Some people only like Iga for her bagels. When she's not bageling, they've got no interest. So you never know. And do I believe if Rybakina goes out there and has a similar type of run, she would earn the same fans? That is an interesting question. I'm not sure. I feel like Rybakina's got quite a I know Iga Świątek, in terms of Twitter fan base, has got pretty strong, some might say scary fan base on Twitter, Iga Świątek. But I think Rybakina's got a pretty big fan base as well. I know for sure whenever I've tweeted about Świątek, I often have Rybakina fans not very happy with me for some reason or another, just because I'm not talking about Rybakina, I think. But I think she's got a good amount of fans. I'm not sure whether a streak would win her more, but I'm sure it would gain her more attention, sort of with maybe the casual fan who might only know Rybakina for winning Wimbledon a couple of years ago, perhaps. $15 here on the Sabalenka serve, getting back to Sabalenka rather than the Iga or Rybakina. Big serve from Sabalenka there, but a big return from Montgomery. She hits the inside-out forehand. Sabalenka's gone over to check the mark to see whether she wants to challenge it. And she has challenged it, and it is out. Good challenge there from Sabalenka. Montgomery seemed convinced that one was in. And Tiafoe hiding in his hoodie after that one. That's a picture you might have to see to believe, but his whole face was in the hood of his hoodie there. Frances Tiafoe. Sabalenka quickly makes that 40-15. Yeah, totally get what you're saying, Jake. I definitely think there's some people who like Iga Świątek and perhaps Rybakina because they're quite relatable to them in their sort of manner and perhaps introverted nature. So that's maybe another reason that people are fans of them. I think there's all sorts of reasons why people are fans of tennis players. And I certainly think, like Nolan said, there'd be a lot of people who joined the sort of Iga train when she got that win streak, but I certainly think there's a lot of others who might have already been on it or have joined since. 40-30 here for Sabalenka after she sent one long, but that was a nice serve, an ace even, to secure the game and make it 5-all. And could we be heading for a second set tiebreak here between Montgomery and Sabalenka? It looks very possible. Montgomery coming to the net for an overhead here. A little bit scrappy, but she puts it away. Cerundolo looks funny without a hat. I love it. I don't know if I've ever seen Cerundolo without a hat, actually, now that you're saying it. I can't picture him without a hat. Probably does look funny without a hat. Wide serve from Montgomery. Sabalenka goes for a backhand down the line in that rally, but well long. 30 love. Montgomery basically with an open court in that rally to send a backhand cross court. 40 love. This is possibly, so far, the easiest service game Montgomery's had. Feels like she's coming into her own more and more here. Even though she's struggling to break the Sabalenka serve on her own service game, she's also making it really tricky for Sabalenka. Of course, as I say that, Sabalenka hits a brilliant return. Makes it 40-15. Just redoing that ball toss. Montgomery not happy with the first one. First serve still into net, into the net though. So second serve here. Once again, Sabalenka with a really strong forehand cross-court return there that Montgomery just can't do anything about. It comes right at her feet far too quickly for her to do anything about it. And what was a very easy service game is now looking a little bit in danger at 40-30. Another second serve, which Sabalenka is really punishing right now. Interesting to see what she can do with this one to try and stop her. She does manage to get this into a rally rather than letting the Sabalenka return overwhelm her, and she puts one down the line. Massive roar from Montgomery as Sabalenka doesn't get that one back. She's using the crowd now, trying to get them on her side as she makes sure that this one is either going to a tiebreak or going her way. She makes it 6-5. And there it is, Cerundolo at long last, without a hat on. Yeah, I really don't think I've ever seen him without a hat on. That does look like a different person to me. Sorry, I got distracted just looking at him. He just doesn't look right. He just doesn't look right. Put the cap back on. That's what I say. That's not Cerundolo. Somebody else who's stolen his post-match interview. Strange. Yeah, Jake, enjoying this. I assume you're talking about the Sabalenka match and not Cerundolo without a hat. But yeah, the Sabalenka match certainly. First set, not super promising. Sort of looked like Sabalenka was just going to steamroll through this one, which definitely felt like a possibility before the match. But Montgomery making sure she's not falling away here. Really putting a fight in this second set, which is making it a lot more competitive, and I'm enjoying it too. Nice serve from Sabalenka. Big forehand cross court. Montgomery does make it there, but not to the following backhand cross court, which is just too far away. 15 love. Serve out wide, painted the line there, Sabalenka. Going for those 1-2 punches all the time, and they're working well. That's 30 love, and it is looking like this could be a second set tiebreak. Has Montgomery need a tiebreak? Ooh, great depth from Montgomery there, but Sabalenka does manage to get it back. Then puts great angle on the backhand, goes down the line to try and move Montgomery about. That does seem to be her main tactic, but it does go into the net, 30-15. And yeah, as Jake was saying earlier, since Montgomery's movement maybe isn't what she's known for, Sabalenka moving her about massively here. Totally agree, Jake. Montgomery can hopefully take a lot of heart from this, regardless of the outcome of this second set. She's fought really well against a Sabalenka who's played very well and returned brilliantly. So, yeah, fair play to Montgomery. She's certainly got a few more eyes on her after this tournament, I'd imagine, for future tournaments. Good rally here. Montgomery just hooking that forehand. She had a great opportunity there to go 30-all, but she hooks it wide. Sabalenka with 2 game points to take this to a tiebreak. Oof. Not sure she meant to return it like that, Montgomery. A little bit of a lucky forehand return, I think, there. It went short. Sabalenka came in to play it down the line, but just went long. 40-30. Yeah, she is playing very well this set, Montgomery. Against a Sabalenka who's looking still not like peak Sabalenka, but better than she has done recently, that's for sure. Is that an ace from Sabalenka? No. Goes long, second serve. And second serve's long too. Quite long. That is a double fault from Sabalenka to take this one to deuce. Perhaps Montgomery isn't interested in a tiebreak here. She wants to break for it. Not sure Sabalenka's going to let that happen, I must say. Nice +1 forehand, good angle from Sabalenka there. Makes Montgomery put the backhand in the net. Advantage Sabalenka. Big serve out wide. Montgomery does get it back. They're now sort of slicing to each other. Montgomery comes in towards the net, puts away a nice backhand down the line. Stops Sabalenka once again from taking this game, and we're back at deuce. And Jake has said before he needs to make some food. He needs Sabalenka to close this one out, sort this one out, but she's just struggling to at the moment. Montgomery making it difficult. That's a good serve though. Montgomery just about getting it back. Can't get the resulting forehand from Sabalenka back. Another chance at game point for Aryna. Sabalenka hitting her spots really well on that serve. Montgomery doing well to get it back, but instantly Sabalenka's on the attack. Montgomery puts one long, and we are into a tiebreak here after 57 minutes of this second set alone. We're going to a tiebreak. Variety, not her strong suit. No, perhaps not. I'm not sure she necessarily needs it with all of the strong suits she does have. But yeah, a little bit of a quirky slice. Yeah, nice way of putting it. Ashley asking what's going on with Cerundolo and Paul. I'm afraid Cerundolo did manage to close that one out 6-2 in the third. I believe you were rooting for Tommy there, but Cerundolo, yeah, apparently, according to John, utilising the drop shot well against Tommy in that third set and closed it out. Montgomery winning the first point there on her serve. So 1-love in the tiebreak. Big serve from Sabalenka, unreturned, make it 1-1. Yeah, I agree, Ashley. Obviously, Cerundolo, a little bit of a rocky season perhaps so far, but it always felt like if he's going to come good anywhere, it's going to be on clay. Ooh, that one came off the top of Sabalenka's racket. And Montgomery getting some encouragement from Tiafoe from the sidelines here as she takes the first mini break in this tie break. And, you know, regardless of who's playing, and this obviously doesn't always ring true, but I always think it's harder to close out a match on a tie break than it is to come back into a match on the tie break. You know, if you're a set down, I think it's much easier to feel like you're able to come into a match, get a set back on a tie break than it is to close it out. Just because it feels like you've got less points to win to try and get back into a match, I think. Nice backhand there from Sabalenka, but Montgomery doing well to get this back. Big forehand from her. Sabalenka with an open court goes for the backhand, but goes long, a little bit frustrated with herself as Montgomery goes 3-1 up. Monty Python. It's a great nickname. And funnily enough, the second time this week that Monty Python has come up on stream. Montgomery serving here for a possible 4-1 lead in this tiebreak. A little bit of scoreboard pressure that would be. She does not get that 4-1 lead though. Nice backhand cross court from Sabalenka. Good angle. Montgomery unable to get near it. And instead, we're back on serve at 3-2. Yeah, possibly Tiafoe not the best person to take tips from right now, but I think it looks more like just your general encouragement rather than any sort of coaching tips. I can only assume, and I know you're going to laugh at me for being young, I can only assume that that's Monty Python on the screen. I'm so sorry. Great point there from Montgomery on the Sabalenka serve. Both up at the net at the end. Great reflexes. Which means that they go into the little mini changeover. 4-2 up Montgomery in this tiebreak. And yeah, Sasha Chapeau straight after this match, Ashley. And you will have Damien and Vanch, the dynamic duo, to talk you through that one on Talking Tennis. Montgomery looking like she has a lot of belief here. Really sort of locked in, as the Americans like to say, into this match. But Sabalenka's going to have something to say about that. Runs in, nice backhand down the line. Bit of a celebration from her. but it is still a mini break for Montgomery. She's about to have her serves at 4-3 up. And even Jake, who has been rooting for Sabalenka this whole time, wants this to go 3 sets. It feels like it deserves 3 sets. It feels like Montgomery's performance in this second set sort of deserves 3 sets, but it could just as easily be Sabalenka who fights back in this tiebreak. That serve was called out from Montgomery. First serve. She's challenged it, and it was just in, according to Hawkeye. So I think Sabalenka did return it, so she does get another second. It's another first serve here. Montgomery, as they replay the point. You know, as this stream goes on, I'm getting worse at saying Montgomery. I feel like I'm unable to wrap my mouth around it as the stream goes on. By the end of it, I'm just going to be going. Sorry, everyone. Good serve there from Montgomery to make it 5-3. Oh, another great serve from Montgomery. This could be going 3 sets. Sabalenka putting that return long, and that's 3 set points for Montgomery here. And Jake doesn't mind because he's a tennis fan first and foremost, which I love because I often think that myself as well. I must ask you though, Jake, if it was Vika, would you be a tennis fan first and foremost or a Vika fan? I'm just interested either way. I feel like most people have got that one player where they don't care what tennis is played, they just want them to win. Montgomery a little bit annoyed with her shot there. Sabalenka saves the first set point. Yeah, I should just start calling her Monty, really. Might help me actually say the word, but I feel like I should at least give it a go to give her her actual name. Right, Sabalenka has saved both those set points on her own serve with some good serving, but here's the all-important set point on Montgomery's serve, 6-5. Serving here to take it to a second set against the second seed. A second set? We're in a second set, Kira. A third set against the second seed. 6-5. Montgomery's first serve into the net. Second serve's good though. Good length on her. +1 forehand. Sabalenka going long. Massive roar from Montgomery. Her entire box, of which there was only 3 or 4 of them, is stood up. As she does manage to take this one after 66 minutes to a well-deserved third set. And it did feel like the way that she played in that second set, the way that she was able to hold her serve, felt like she deserved to take that to a third and to get a set there against Sabalenka. Such fine margins though, only 7-5, 2 points in it, but yeah, felt like she deserved that one. So we are going to a third here. I feel like every women's match I've done in the last, 3 weeks has been a marathon. They just keep going. Yeah, no, I totally get that, Jake. I thought it would be the case with Vika that with Vika, it doesn't matter what the tennis is like, you just want her to win. I think everyone's got that player where they just, and Rafa with the men's side, I'm definitely like that with Rafa. I don't care what tennis is played. or who's playing better. I just want him to find a way. But I think we've all got somebody like that. But yeah, in most cases, I feel like I can be pretty good on the side of tennis. Yeah, watching this one, obviously beforehand I said I think it'd be great to see Sabalenka against Danielle Collins, but watching this now, you sort of feel like it would be pretty great to see Montgomery against Collins as well. So I don't think that sort of next round, I think that next round is safe to be a pretty good match, whatever the outcome of this one now. As naturally as the third set starts, my stream completely goes away because Sky Sports is just so kind like that and loves to snatch the stream away from you just as it gets interesting. Find another one. Okay, another stream secured, and Sabalenka just stepping up to serve in the first game of the third set, and 15 love already. Worried about a potential Rafa versus Lehechka for some reason. Lehechka tough to contain when everything is clicking. Yeah, I feel like I don't think I've watched any Lehechka yet this tournament. He's only played one, hasn't he, against Medjedovic, which was relatively close. I feel like that one between Lehechka and Montero will be really interesting, though, because if Montero plays like he did against Tsitsipas, that could be pretty tough. He was on fire. Same in Germany. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but Sky Sports / Now TV have a bunch of like bonus streams on their streaming app, which are like advert free and stuff. So I usually use those, but sometimes they just sort of suddenly disappear, and you have to go back to the sort of live Sky Sports coverage instead. Quite frustrating. Sabalenka 40-15 here in the first service game of the third set. There's a very strange slice there that goes wide, makes it 40-30. It'd be interesting. It feels like this third set could either be incredibly close again and could possibly be even another tiebreak, or are we going to see Sabalenka return to her form in the first set and start sort of hitting those big returns again? Montgomery puts that backhand in the net, though. And first game to Sabalenka. Some set 2 stats that I'm sure will disappear very quickly on me. More winners from Sabalenka, 16 to Montgomery's 12, but more unforced errors for Sabalenka as well, 16 to 10. But it was 43 points for Sabalenka, 42 points for Montgomery, so as close as can be in that second set. Even the way I've said it now, just then, sounded like Sabalenka actually won more points, which might have been possible. I'm not sure which way round that was, but yeah, very close second set there that Montgomery managed to take. An early double fault for her there, though. Love 15. Hečka's a fab player. I remember watching him in Rotterdam 2022. He was great that week. The problem with the Hečka is that the brain can often get in the way. Yeah, I feel like I haven't watched loads of Lehečka sort of in the last couple of years. But when I have, he's either been absolutely amazing or not really on his game at all. I don't think I've really ever seen him in between. I was at Queen's last year and watched him play sort of live against Carlitos, and he didn't really show up to that one as far as I remember. Carlitos was pretty solid that day, although it was pretty solid all of Queen's, let's be honest. But yeah, Lehečka, so much promise. If he can get a little bit more consistency at that top level, I think won't be long until we're seeing him in the top sort of 20. Montgomery struggling in this first service game. 15-30. Not very comfortable in the rallies. Looks almost tentative there as she put that backhand down the line long. In the second set, she would have just absolutely whacked at that one and hoped for the best, but she sort of struggled with that one. And 2 early break points here for Sabalenka, much like those early break points in the first set. Into a rally where both are pushing each other wider and wider until Montgomery goes for the forehand down the line, makes it. Sabalenka nowhere near, saves the first break point. And it's 30-40. Second break point here, though, for Sabalenka. That serve was long, so second serve. Will we see Sabalenka step in and hit this one with all she's got? Oh, she doesn't need to. Double fault from Montgomery there on break point. What a time for it when she'd done so well saving the first one. But a nice response from Sabalenka to losing that second set as she gets the early break in this third, makes it 2-love. And in the first set, there was really no coming back from that for Montgomery. So interesting to see how Sabalenka and whether Sabalenka can consolidate here. Oof, not a good start. That backhand down the line is long. Love 15. Nice serve from Sabalenka, but Montgomery does well on the return. Sabalenka goes for the drop shot, but it's nowhere near good enough. Montgomery on it quickly, sort of hits it at Sabalenka a little bit there. But Sabalenka unable to get that over the net. Love 30. Good response here to going a breakdown from Montgomery. Feels like the time that Sabalenka might pull out some pretty good serves. Yep, there's the first one. And return serve from Sabalenka to go 15-30. Saba drop shot, almost as uncomfortable viewing as her slide. I would even argue that that drop shot in particular was more uncomfortable than the slice. That one was pretty bad. Nice cross-court backhand from Montgomery. No, it isn't. It's been called out. I'm sure she'll challenge that one. Maybe not. 30 all. She doesn't challenge. Like Conta back in the day. Not sure I've ever heard a Sabalenka Conta comparison before, but I love it. $30 all here. First serve and second serve actually long there. I thought that was a first serve, but no, that's a double fault from Sabalenka at almost as terrible a time as Montgomery's in the previous game. Gives Montgomery a chance at a break back point immediately here to get back on level terms in this third set. Sabalenka serves out wide. Nice forehand return from Montgomery into a baseline rally. Sabalenka once again trying to switch Montgomery around, goes for the forehand down the line, but goes long. Montgomery with an instant break back, already doing what she couldn't in previous sets. That is the first break of the match for Montgomery of the Sabalenka serve to get us back level 2-1 in this third set.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
If you are watching the same stream as I am of Sabalenka, they did just show a little clip of Zverev in the gym prior to his match later, where I think they showed one of his coaches basically falling over pretty badly. It was a terrible fall in the gym, but it was quite funny, and Zverev found it hilarious, as did all of the rest of the coaches in the room. Everyone just killing themselves laughing as this guy tried to get up from the ground. If you're not watching the same stream I am, you are missing out on some quality falling over content. Yeah, what I agree, by the way, Jake, what Conta was able to do in her sort of late career was quite impressive and possibly quite unexpected in its impressiveness. 30-15 here for Montgomery on her serve. Will want to consolidate her break back so that this is truly back on serve and 2-all. Nice angle on the backhand return for Sabalenka. Montgomery does well to get that back, but Aryna following it up with a lovely down the line. Montgomery nowhere near it, 30-all. She's going to make this difficult. I can see why, Jake. I can see why. There's a lot to love about that backhand. Oof. And as I say that, Sabalenka hits possibly the worst backhand return she's hit all match. Obviously. I jinxed her on that one. I'm very sorry. That one was not great. It gives Montgomery a game point. Montgomery sets it up well with a nice serve, but that backhand, she just puts too much on it, as she has done quite a lot in this match. That's where probably the main source of her errors has been just putting a bit too much on it. Makes it deuce. Oof. Nice serve out wide from Montgomery there. Sabalenka stretching for it, doesn't get it back. Advantage Montgomery. I think that sorry, I'm trying to squint at my screen there. It looks like that Sabalenka return went long. And it did. So that is 2-all. Montgomery holds after breaking back. And we are truly back on serve. Anybody's game here at 2-all. University is great. Thank you, Jake. I do enjoy it. I was actually on a course to become a primary school teacher before my current course, and I must say I didn't enjoy that one very much. But now doing something I actually enjoy, yeah, I find uni pretty fun. But I'm probably mostly there for the the actual university course rather than anything else nowadays. So I know what you mean about loving it, but not necessarily for all the reasons that maybe other people love uni. Love 15 here on the Sabalenka serve. Nice return from Montgomery. And then she goes for the drop shot. Sabalenka's going to get there. Tries to put it away cross court. Montgomery does get a racket on it, but puts it in the net. A little bit frustrated with herself on that one. 15-all. Catherine, hi. Thank you so much for joining us. Lovely to see you. You like the way TFO's encouraging Robin. I totally agree. I think it's really nice. Obviously, he's not in the singles competition at Madrid any longer, but seems very committed to supporting Montgomery today. And it's nice to see, definitely. Yeah, I think a lot of people need more than one uni course to find what works. In my experience, I thought at the time when I was changing, I thought it was just me, but actually I've met a lot of people who needed to try out a few, find what works for them. And if you're able to, then why not? 30-15 here for Sabalenka after going love 15 down. Montgomery, it feels like she's returning Sabalenka's serve a bit better now, sort of with a bit more length. But that subsequent backhand not good enough. And Sabalenka 40-15. Nice serve from Sabalenka down the line. Oh, Montgomery sort of gets a racket to it, but it looks like it's looping well long. Sabalenka just sort of stands, watches it bounce, and it looks like it bounces in. I think she's challenged it, but it does look like Montgomery's just managed to fluke that one. She did apologise. She obviously has taken back that challenge, and it is 40-30. Two hours and 9 minutes on the clock now. This is turning into a long one as Montgomery's forehand is into the net. Sabalenka does hold 3-2.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Montgomery just stepping up to serve here. And yeah, please do make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. We're currently at 8,018, and that's just not an even number. Well, well, I know it is a technically even number, but you know, it would be nice if that was rounded up to 8,020, perhaps. That would look a bit nicer to me. So let's try and make it look a bit nicer, please. Oh, nearly a nice backhand from Montgomery, but just wide into the tram lines, 15 all. No, I totally get what you mean, Jake. Almost all of these like 2-week events, I end up saying at some point, like, oh, they've done great this week or that week. I always forget it's 2 weeks all the time. Oof. Another rally where Montgomery just struggling to get that backhand over the net, giving Sabalenka a bit of a chance here at 15-30. And an even bigger chance as she puts her first serve in the net. So second serve here for Sabalenka. Oof. Sabalenka's backhand goes long this time. So 30 all. Nice serve from Montgomery. Feels like she's in control of this rally, moving Sabalenka about. And that backhand from Sabalenka just drifting long. Gives Montgomery a game point, 40-30. This set as close as the previous so far. And Montgomery with a forehand that paints the line. Sabalenka puts it into the net. And she does hold. Both of them being slightly tested on their service games, but still coming through without too much trouble at the moment. It is 3 all. And this does mean, of course, that Zverev-Shapovalov match is going to get going quite late here in Madrid. It looks like the stands are already starting to sort of thin out a bit. I suppose they're an hour ahead of me, so it must be nearly 10:30 there. So yeah, this Zverev match is going to start late. Nice serve from Sabalenka. Montgomery, once again, doing well to get some of these Sabalenka serves back in play at all. Give herself a rally, but that backhand just a little bit too much on it once again. Gives Sabalenka 30 love. Nice return there from Montgomery right to Sabalenka's feet. Nothing she could do about that one. 30-15. Oof. Very long first serve there from Sabalenka. And a very long return from Montgomery. Not very happy with herself in that one, moaning to her box. A bit frustrated. But she's quite good at brushing that off quite quickly. I think that's what is impressing me about Montgomery in terms of her mental game here, is she does get a little bit frustrated with herself sometimes. She's quite good at then shaking that off, sometimes quite physically. She sort of shakes it off and then locks into the next rally, which I find, well, it's working for her. Just mishits that forehand return. Montgomery gives Sabalenka a relatively easy hold there to 15. 4-3. Ashley still driving. You must have quite a long drive there, Ashley. Hope you're not finding that too stressful. Glad you're still listening, though. It is such a close match. Wouldn't want to predict this one right now. To me, it still feels like Sabalenka's getting through her service games slightly easier than Montgomery is, so she might have the edge right now, Sabalenka. But that might have also been the case in the second set, and if it gets to a tiebreak, it's anyone's game. So, yeah, This is an exciting one. More exciting than I perhaps, although many people would maybe think it would be. I know I said before the match I think it could be close, but I still perhaps thought it would be a close 2-set match in favour of Sabalenka rather than what we're getting. Oh, in fairness, when you get a look at the stands here in Madrid, I'm not in Madrid, but they're in Madrid. The upper half of the stands is still pretty full, actually. It's just those sort of lower, strange, boxed off stands that are quite empty now. Sorry, I know you can hear the disdain in my voice when I talk about those boxes in Madrid, but I just don't like them. They're so ugly looking. Sorry. I have a bit of a thing about stadiums that don't seem to use space well, but I won't go on about it anymore, and boy, yeah. Jake, what have I missed? Just put some food in. Not too much. Sabalenka with a bit of a chance on Montgomery's last service game. Does feel like she's having more of those, but got through her own service game pretty comfortably. And she is, again, love 15 here on the Montgomery serve. Feels like she's just struggling to get as many first serves in now. I don't know if that's true. I'll have a quick look at the stats. Ooh, Sabalenka not happy with herself, messed up that return, 15 all. No problem, Jake. I would get those stats up if my app would cooperate. There we are. Oh no, she's getting first serves in just fine. Maybe it was just in the last couple of games that it feels like she's got less, but 65% first serve, so it's actually better than Sabalenka at the moment. Nice point from her there as well. Strong rally for 30-15. Funnily enough, both players right now have got a better win percentage on their second serve than their first. Both sort of struggling on their first serve. I don't know if that's partly because both are putting so much on their returns in the first serve, sort of using the pace to their advantage. That maybe they're sort of taking control of rallies a bit sooner. That's an ace for Montgomery. Quite a few aces in this match, actually. 8 for Sabalenka, 7 for Montgomery, I think. Not bad. Nice return from Sabalenka. Montgomery does well to get it back in play. And Sabalenka's backhand goes into the net. So pretty strong hold there from Montgomery. Few let's goes towards the box. And TFO once again with the encouragement. However cold he does look in that hoodie. And he does look cold. He has not gone cold in his encouragement of Robin Montgomery this evening. And the more we see these holds, the more I'm feeling a third set tiebreak is going to decide this match. As Montgomery's backhand goes wide, Sabalenka 15 love. Oh. Nice serve out wide from Sabalenka. Feels like she's going to put this forehand away, and she does. Cross court, 30 love. Montgomery's backhand there just long, so this could be a strong hold to love for Sabalenka. 3 game points. I can really feel a sneeze coming on, guys. I'm just warning you. There will be a sneeze from me in the near future. Double fault there from Sabalenka. That second serve was very long. Nice serve, though. Oh, no. It wasn't. It was a let. Never mind. Still 40-15. Nice serve out wide. Forehand, inside out forehand to take the game. And Sabalenka 5-4 up now in this third set. And it could be a big advantage for her here that she gets to go 5-4 up and possibly eventually 6-5 up. She will have the chance to break to win this match. And I'll be surprised if we don't see a little bit of a raised level in this next service game from Sabalenka. I think she'd love to stop this from going to a tie break, seeing as she's got the chance to break to win. Once again, I must only assume that we have got Monty Python on the screen. And I really do like that nickname for Montgomery. The problem is I'm probably going to think of her as Monty Python now for the rest of her life, which is so unfair to that poor 19-year-old girl. But once I've got a nickname for something, it does tend to stick. So she will be Monty Python to me forever. So thank you for that, Jake. I was going to start guessing names of them then, but that's a terrible idea and I'm not going to do it because it will just embarrass myself, won't I? I will refrain. Oh, a few more people voting Montgomery to win now. That was 89% last time we looked at that poll. Now 77% of us thinking Sabalenka's going to win. So still very much in her favour. Montgomery here serving to stay in this match now. 2 hours and 26 minutes on the clock. Already that seemed like a bigger return from Sabalenka. Big roar from her as well as she follows up with a great backhand that painted the line. And yeah, that was very, very strong from Sabalenka. And it does feel like she's going to raise her game and try and break here. Love 15. Montgomery going to have to work really hard to hold serve against a Sabalenka returning like this. Really strong forehand return down the line this time from Sabalenka. Montgomery's +1 long. And in a lot of trouble here, Montgomery at love 30. First serve goes long. Second serve here to try and stop Sabalenka from having 3 set points, match points. Big backhand cross court from Sabalenka. Montgomery manages to get to it. Big cross court forehand from Sabalenka. Montgomery manages to get to it, but then the overhead is too much for Montgomery, and Sabalenka does indeed set up 3 match points. And it did feel a little bit inevitable that she was going to push here for a break to take the match, and Montgomery is going to have to pull off something pretty incredible here if she wants to stay in this match. Love 40 down, 3 match points for Sabalenka. Here's the first one. Montgomery's first serve into the net. Feel like we're going to get a big return on this second serve from Montgomery. It was a big return, but they are into a rally. Montgomery goes for the inside-out forehand, puts it in the net, and Sabalenka manages to break to love to take this third set 6-4 and ultimately win the match. And that just felt like Sabalenka's experience, her sort of class, won the day in the end there. She knew exactly when to just up her level, really go for those shots, put Montgomery under some pressure, and she did so perfectly. But Montgomery walking off the court to a big round of applause here, and she should be really proud of her performance today, I think. I think she's done really well against Sabalenka, who's looking stronger and stronger with each match. I think Montgomery gave her a good fight today, did well to take that second set at all, and should come away really proud. Obviously, she was a wild card for this tournament in Madrid, but I have a feeling we're going to see her at a few more tournaments where she doesn't need a wild card, because I think that's where she's headed, looking at how she played today. And similarly, even though Montgomery's going to walk away from this happy in a certain way, she obviously was the loser, and I think Sabalenka should certainly walk away from this with some confidence, because she was tested today and she came through in the end, and she played really well, actually. I think, you know, in a way she was unlucky to lose that second set against Montgomery, who was serving really well, but Sabalenka's return today was really strong. Sorry, that picture of Zverev's coach falling over is so funny to me. I'm glad everyone else can experience it now. The video is even better, honestly. Fully just absolutely stacks it. And they all start laughing at him. It was very, very amusing. But yeah, great match to watch, that one. Just under 2 hours 30, 2 hours 28 minutes. Lots of aces from both, 6 from Montgomery, not 7, sorry, and 8 from Sabalenka. First serve overall was quite different, 71% for Sabalenka, 55% for Montgomery, so a tricky one. But it does mean we've got that very exciting Danielle Collins, Aryna Sabalenka match in round 4, which I personally am very excited to see, because I think that could be interesting. Sabalenka playing like she is today against Danielle Collins, who just will not lose at the moment, could be a very, very good match. And yeah, Robin Montgomery, very good. Sure, we'll be seeing more of her, but in this tournament, it will be Sabalenka we're seeing more of. Oh no, Jake missed the end. I'm so sorry to hear that, Jake. You would have enjoyed it. It was a very, very brilliant break from Sabalenka to love to win the match in the end, 6-4 in that third set. So yeah, great stuff from Sabalenka today. Looking forward to that match between her and Danielle Collins, definitely. I imagine that must be on Tuesday now, because I think they're still playing alternate days, aren't they? So yeah, excited for that one. Looking forward to seeing Robin Montgomery again, though, for sure, in a future tournament. Hopefully she will be able to sort of move up the rankings enough that she doesn't need a wild card in future, and she can sort of just play more tournaments and play more, you know, top players, because it seems like she can fight with some of the best players in the world. Her beating Katie Bolter was no mean feat either, regardless of her performance of Sabalenka today. So yeah, looking forward to her, looking forward to more Sabalenka, but should probably wrap this one up because obviously everyone is now waiting for dynamic duo Vanch and Damien to arrive and take over and bring you that match between Denis Shapovalov and Alexander Zverev, which is about to start on Manolo Santana. So thank you to everyone for joining me this evening. It's been great to have you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, and thank you so much for subscribing and making that number so much more lovely to look at before I leave this evening. 8,020. It's just a good number, and I'm very happy with leaving it on that. So thank you all so much for watching. And until I see you again, make sure you keep talking tennis.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.